Hello, everyone, and welcome to LDM Radio Sports Talk, the show that talks about sports and other topics relatable to sports fans. Joining me in a secret remote location is Sean in Queens.
What's going on? How's everyone doing?
Sean, sound check, 1, 2, 3.
Can you hear me? Check, check.
Gotcha. What's up?
I'm good. How are you doing, man?
All right, feeling great. So we're going to go knee deep into the NHL playoff picture. So we're going to start with the East Division, which every division now has games that the teams have played each other at least 8 times. In the North Division, since there was only 7 teams in the division, they played each other between 9 and 10 times. But for this particular division, everybody's faced each other 8 times. So the number 1 seed was the Pittsburgh Penguins, and they're going to face the number 4 seed New York Islanders. Thoughts on the series?
I think out of all of the 1-4 matchups, I think this is the only one where the number 4 seed actually challenges the number 1 seed. I know during the season, I think the Pens wind up winning this series. I think they won 6 out of the 8 games.
Yes, they did.
And then I know one of those losses went into overtime. So if that tells you anything, at least, you would assume they were competitive games, and they were. But, the Isles, they kind of slept-walked the last couple weeks, since the trade deadline. But we all know how the Isles have been the last couple of years. They seem to turn it on going into the playoffs and whatnot.
I'd say losing Anders Lee, Captain Anders Lee, was really a really huge blow that they still haven't been able to recoup from yet. The addition of Mary and Travis Zajac has not panned out to this point yet, but the playoffs are the playoffs, and there's definitely some ways to go there. So if you look at the Pittsburgh Penguins, who I feel like they pretty much did well against both New York teams. I think they had a little bit of trouble against the New Jersey Devils, but overall, though, they pretty much Islanders and the New York Rangers. And right now, it's they made the trade acquisition for Jeff Carter, and the Pittsburgh Penguins throughout the whole season have been absolutely, you name it, everybody go down except for Crosby himself. I don't think he went down for any long period of time anyway. But now that everybody's coming back healthy, Malkin was out for a little bit, and now he's back. The trade acquisition of Jeff Carter. Jeff Carter has the most goals of action, so he's like that. But those 2 players have outscored their production from their previous teams in like half of the in half game in less played with the other team. So the Pittsburgh Penguins it's going to be really, now that they're healthy, it's going to be a difficult challenge for the Islanders.
The Magic Man, since the trade, points in a handful of games afterwards. He's been everything that Pittsburgh thought they were acquiring once they made the trade. You look at the numbers straight up in the season series, you say to yourself, that Pittsburgh Penguins lose to the Islanders. But I think this one, I'm going to say that this is going to go 6-7 games. This isn't going to be a 4 or 5 game series. I think this is going to be a bit of a bloodbath between the 2 teams.
I'll agree with you with the fact that the Islanders aren't going to really roll over. Plus, they also have keeping Pittsburgh.
Well, Pittsburgh was the favorite in that series too, if I remember correctly. They started out. Were they the favorite? I believe so. But and actually, in doing some research for the show, in the handful of series that the Penguins and Islanders have played with each other, I believe Pittsburgh series. So the Penguins do not have Islanders. So this could be the Penguins' kryptonite for.
All right, that is a very fair point. So it looks like it's gonna be a very very tough season on that for that series. What do you got? And I'm going to go Penguins in 6. So let's move on to the other series in this conference in this division. We have the Capitals going against the Boston Bruins, who are the 3rd seed. What are your thoughts on the series?
Ooh, this one, I think this, going, if you look at the head-to-head numbers with these two teams, I believe Washington's 4-4-0, and Boston, I believe, was 4-2-2. Really, you're talking, and 2 overtime losses. This is pretty much split down the middle. I don't remember exactly when the meetings were between the majority of the two teams in the season. I do know these two teams did each other at the last game of the season. It was recent that they started seeing each other again. And yes, I know every team has played each team 8 times. But, just a reference note going back to the series that we just finished talking about, the Isles and the Pens haven't seen each other since like the end of February. It's been, a whole month not playing, one team, so it's a little bit different. The teams that have literally just played each other last week and whatnot. So, Rat is now back. Taylor Hall looked really Bruins. He's scoring almost every game. If you look at Washington, Anthony Mantha has made an adjustment moving into Washington. You look at Alexander Ovechkin, he's been hurt. He hasn't played. I've been hearing rumblings about the organization isn't very happy with Kuznetsov right now. Washington has, Tom Wilson was hurt in that last game against the Flyers. Washington going into this series right now seems to be a little bit of a disadvantage. That if they start the series without the big guns out there playing and without everyone at 100%, I think Boston takes 1 in 5.
Okay, so I'm gonna go into the assumption that the Washington Cap. I'm gonna say this starts either Friday or Saturday. I'm gonna say that Alexander. I don't see how, even if he was injured, he probably would. It would take like a really really serious injury for him not to be there. So with these two teams healthy, the eye test will tell you that the Washington Capitals have a more balanced lineup up and down. I'd say from the forward lines to the defensemen to the goaltending. Whereas the Boston Bruins, they're very very top heavy with the forwards, and then